Hi everybody, it's Gail Minogue again. We're going to talk today about why we are struggling so much with the COVID situation. Why can't we seem to get it together? What's the difference between us and all of the seem to be these other nations that are doing better, except maybe for Brazil? How did we get ranked with Brazil? How did we not, how are we shut out of traveling to Europe? Why are we struggling so much? What's causing this, and is there a finale to it? And so I'll put my mask here, but I encourage everybody to wear a mask. It is really a sign of cooperation to wear the mask so we don't spread ourselves around to other people, and we protect them and therefore protect the society. A couple of things I want to talk about is that, remember when, if you go back on my YouTube videos, we understand the country of the United States is a 5 country. It's a catalyst of change. We already know that. And so it's an agent of change for assimilation here first with all different kinds of people, and then take that out to the world. Well, right now we're struggling with all of the assimilation, and we're struggling, period, with this pandemic. The pandemic came in, as I say, under the sign of Gemini, and the sign of Gemini, which controls the body part that Gemini controls, and each sign controls a body part, or the lungs, the respiratory system. So it came in by air because Gemini is air. So we have a disease of the air and the respiratory system. So what can we do to not spread that around and give it to everybody else? Well, you could wear a mask. You could keep your distance from people, at least till we get through this. And this big transit ends, I had said, around about the third week, almost the end of September. So what do? We come out of hiding and think it's all over in May, and tra-la, we tiptoe through the bars, and we tiptoe through the tulips, and guess what? It spreads. And then there are those who think their rights are being abused if they can't get out there with the militia and say, we're not going to wear a mask. Well, really? Really? Okay, just wait and see. I'm sure that by the time this gets done, the whole country will be masked, because you're going to have to get a handle on the respiratory aspect of this condition. It came in by air, and Americans struggle because they want individual freedom and individual rights, because this was a nation founded on the rights of the individual. That was a very early part. And learn to assimilate different nationalities, qualities, all different kinds of people, so that the world can begin uniting more in humanity. And this is about a 2020, 2200-year period. We're in the very early stages of it, only the first few hundred years, and America is the catalyst for it. So right now we're doing a pretty lousy job. We have a lot of people who think it is against their rights, their First Amendment, Second Amendment, 20,000 Amendment. Who cares, especially if you get sick or you pass it on to grandma? So it just shows you that the individual rights have gone off the rails, and that the whole purpose now is finding out, are we mature enough to be able to act maturely and have what Australian gentleman said, collaborative, cooperative, competitive, no, but really people who can complement the information. So it's competency, cooperative competency. And where is the cooperative competency? We got this one over here saying that, this one over here saying that, this doctor saying that. It's all part of that immaturity of America. And right now, our immaturity is showing. So it's part of our growth period is to grow up. And we're growing up through this pandemic, believe it or not. Europe doesn't want us over there because we're not the grown-ups yet. And we're acting very self-righteous and all this other stuff. And the other thing is that we have this whole condition about in many of the religious connections that we have to all be together. We have to be together in a room, and that way we can reach our God. You know, God is not on a sky in a form of a man that you pray to. Okay, this is something that is part of the old Piscean age and going away. So we don't have God, a male, sitting on a cloud that we beg and beseech to save us and all of that, because these are Again, part of that religious makeup that's going away with the Piscean age. So we're going into the age of rationality, awareness, and enlightenment. So as we rise up, we have to get rid of the immaturity of that's my way or the highway, and understand we have a pandemic that doesn't care about your rights. Doesn't give a hoot. Doesn't give a hoot. It just needs to grow and feed itself. That's what viruses do. That's what diseases do. Cancer literally kills its hosts. If it was something else, it would not want to kill its host, would it? But what does it do? It kills its hosts. And we have a virus that wants to eat, and it will go wherever it can. It doesn't care whether you don't want to wear a mask. So it's about part of America's maturing, learning to grow up. This cycle is not ending until 2024, and I've said that over and over, folks. You want to get through this period, plan on the long haul. What do we need to do to take care of ourselves? Build your immune system. Build your immune system. So if you get it, you don't get a bad case of it, okay? Build your immune system. What does that take? That means some sacrifice on your part to not eat, drink, and sleep the way you do, okay? It's ignorance that is keeping us, ignorance and immaturity that is keeping us struggling. And if you want the economy to really come back, sensibly, then we're going to have to be healthy. We're going to have to take care of ourselves. So the good thing about the pandemic, it's exposed all the things we wouldn't look at and do, and we didn't have either the courage or the nerve or the willingness to really say, this isn't right. It isn't right that we don't have health care for a large percentage of the United States. And I have a very sick husband right now, and I could tell you it's a bloody fortune to maintain him, take care of him, all that. It's a bloody fortune. And I know all about the game playing in the medical profession and in your insurances and all that. And yet we have done really nothing to promote and push this in our country, because it was something we could talk about but not do anything about. And that's immaturity. One of the things that I'm shocked that we are not doing with all of this COVID going around and coming out of nursing homes, there's no outcry among the population. There's no protests. There's no rioting for the elderly. And yet they're like 25% of all the cases, okay? And yet nobody's protesting, taking to the streets, banging their, making their noise, making their signs, save the elderly. Who cares? What are they going to do for us anymore? That's immaturity. It's immaturity. This is where it's needed, and yet we have allowed this country to allow big corporations. Regulations have been looked the other way by our politicians. We have to clean this mess up, folks. This is what we're about right now. This COVID is purposeful. It's doing its job. It's making us become more rational thinking people, more mature. There's nothing like getting a bad disease to help mature you up pretty like overnight. Wow. You get a bad diagnosis, you really get mature quickly, very quickly. Don't do it that way. So this is just my reminder to you, wear a mask, wear it whether you like it or not. We didn't ask you to like it. It's not about like. It's not mandatory everywhere, but it's just sensible. And then keep your distance, be smart, let this thing go away. Don't engage, over-engage. We're worried about, you have to open the schools so people can have childcare so the economy can grow and the president get elected. What is this about? This is not sensibility. What do we need to do in a smart way? So it's open and maybe, yes, but very sensibly smart. This thing is not out of here. We let it rage due to our immaturity. We let it rage, and now we have to deal with the consequences. So we got 3 years of goofy, okay? We're going to go back and forth. We got to fix the economy. We got to fix all our internal structures that keep the engine running. It's going to take time, folks. This is only 2020. So that is not such a happy message today. I'm sorry, but I think it's serious. So let's take care of ourselves better and take care of each other better, and stop everybody being so darn angry. It's ridiculous. It is so ridiculous. If you walk into Target and they say you can't come in without a mask, you don't beat the employee up. Is this not asinine? But that's what's going on. You go into Trader Joe's, a woman here in LA, North Hollywood. She had a fit in the store. Somebody filled it. She dropped and threw her food on the ground, shouted at them all, everybody. All these people are doing is trying to play safe and help each other. And this is not going to help just because you're angry. So get over it. Take your dolls and dishes or cowboys and Indians and go home. But if you can't act out there kindly, then stay home. Please stay home. Keep it in your own house. Okay, if you want any information on numerology, which is what I do, and I help you with your life path, especially through the next 3 years, like what you should be doing now that a lot of jobs have shut down, I can help you with that. Go to gailminogue.com and help yourself. Look in the book, get the book, Divine Design, How You Created the Life You Are Living, all on my website. But get some internal help. You're going to be your own best friend now. You're going to be your helper. You're going to be your doctor. You're going to be. I can remember when my son died of cancer a few years ago, and it was almost you're unconsolable. And a very wise friend said to me, Gail, I said, what if you need a comforter? I said, what if I can't find one? Then he said to me, you must learn to comfort yourself. Learn to comfort yourself. Okay? So my motto is today, give me a call with my 800 number. You can reach me live. Email me. Get the book to help you. Set up a session. We'll help you through this. I'll be glad to do it. Thank you for listening again. And I'll put my mask on right now. Okay, so here I go. You do yours too. Do yours too.